Akira Toriyama. A mangaka recognized worldwide for his hit action manga Dragon Ball, first published in 1984. To fans outside Japan, this was their first exposure to his work, and presumed to be his starting point. But before he made Dragon Ball, there was another successful series he was made famous for in Japan, a comedy sci-fi manga by the name of Dr. Slump. Dr. Slump debuted in Weekly Shonen Jump on February 4th, 1980. The series features the misadventures of eccentric inventor Dr. Senbei Norimaki, whose greatest creation is a robot girl named Arale. Chapters consist of Arale and Senbei living a not-so-quiet life in a quirky place called Penguin Village. Senbei's goal is to have Arale pass as being a normal little girl, but with Arale's personality and power, it's a tough job. Senbei Norimaki is a scientist with a track record for bizarre inventions and perverted thoughts. Some insultingly refer to him as Dr. Slump, hence the series name. But despite that, he's not as much of a focus of the series as Arale. When he is proud of himself for trying to impress the ladies, his appearance becomes masculine and handsome. But otherwise, he's a chubby, scruffy, pervy guy creating new gadgets and taking care of his little sister, Arale. And yes, Arale has referred to him as Doraemon, I will never escape this blue cat. Arale Norimaki is a fully functional robot girl and Senbei's greatest creation. Unlike human girls, Arale has remarkable physical properties including strength, speed, and durability, and has other robotic features like being able to calculate math problems in seconds, running on motor oil, and having the ability to detach her own head. Nothing unusual here. She also likes to, poke poop. Her catchphrase and typical greeting is and likewise, her departing salutation is She also has a phrase when she's curious. 3 other recurring characters are Godzilla, or Gajira Norimaki, or Gachan for short, a strange, nearly omnivorous cherub that hatched from a prehistoric egg and can split into 2, Dr. Mashirito, a goofy, evil genius and Senbei's rival, whose goal is to defeat Arale, and one of his efforts is by scanning and copying her build to create Obochaman, a polite robot lad that has power matching Arale's. Despite his mission, Obochaman falls in love with Arale during their first meeting, so much for that. There are all kinds of wacky characters in the series, but to name a few, Arale's friends Akane, a rebellious girl, Taro, the local bad boy, Taro's younger brother, Bisuke, and in direct contrast to the delinquents, there is Sukutsun, a polite, disciplined boy that practices martial arts. Others include Aoi, the local waitress at the coffee shop and the older sister of Akane, Midori Yamabuki, Arale's teacher and Senbei's love interest, and Kenta Kuraaku, a disguise for the local quote-unquote superhero Suppaman, or Sour Man. This gag manga is known for its referential, self-aware, and toilet humor. Dr. Slump makes nods to kaiju films and other manga like Astro Boy and Doraemon, is consistently aware it is a manga, from talking directly to the viewer to breaking the manga itself, and has plenty of poop, fart jokes, and so on. Dr. Slump was a massive hit amongst Japanese readers. In 1981, it was given the prestigious Shogakukan Manga Award for Shonen and Shoujo. The manga ran for 236 chapters, ending in 1984, and has sold over 35 million copies as of 2008. During its run, Dr. Slump received an anime series titled Dr. Slump Arale-chan, starting on April 8, 1981, and going for 243 episodes. According to a study conducted by Video Research in Japan on most viewed anime based on average household ratings, Dr. Slump Arale-chan reached number 3, trailing behind Sazae-san at number 2 and Chibi Maruko-chan at number 1. Dr. Slump also had 11 films based on the series. That's a lot of success! In 1997, Senbei and Arale received a follow-up anime, kind of a reimagining of the series with drastically different character designs, airing for 79 episodes. Arale's legacy lives on with Japanese fans, appearing in Shonen Jump crossover games like Jump Superstars and Jump Ultimate Stars on the DS, J-Star Victory Versus on the PlayStation 3 and Vita, and later the Plus release on PlayStation 4. Dr. Slump is remembered fondly by Japanese fans, but why didn't it take off in the English-speaking world? Today, we look at Dr. Slump's English dub history, including additional materials released and what the future may hold. Not long after Dr. Slump Arale-chan reached Japanese airwaves, production company Harmony Gold picked up the series for an English dub. Harmony Gold made a pilot episode recorded at Intersound Inc. in California in 1984. The video was first uploaded to YouTube all the way back around summer of 2006, possibly coinciding with Intersound going out of business that year. Maybe they were selling assets and that happened to be one of them. Because of its Japanese origins, Dr. Slump was edited to appeal to possible licensors for broadcast. This includes names, jokes, and footage in the first episode being changed. Why did Harmony Gold need to change so much about a show with a purple-haired robot girl and her dorky inventor, and how did they go about doing it? The dub cut out any scene with prominent Japanese text, extra scenes like eye catches, and several jokes. Possibly due to budget and the fact this is a pilot episode, Harmony Gold didn't make any paint edits, so they had to remove the footage entirely. So much needed to be changed that Dr. Slump's first episode went from being about 24.5 minutes to being just under 17.5. Before we jump into what is cut, let's go through some changes and information that doesn't directly affect the runtime. Senbei Norimaki is known by his nickname Dr. Slump. I guess the dub had an easy solution for that. Arale's name stayed the same as one would expect seeing as it's on her clothes, but it's pronounced Arale. For Arale's friends, Akane is named Sandy, Taro is Butch, and Pisuke is Buddy. For the two other named adults, Aoi is Lois and Miss Yamabuki is Tammy LaFox. Let's also run through the voice cast. The footage doesn't have any credits, so this list is going off the speculative voice-matched credits on Crystal Acids. Much of Crystal Acids' list of VAs is also in Robotech, a show Harmony Gold is much better known for, so it makes sense to hear them here too, but take this list with a grain of salt. Senbei is voiced by, well, we don't know. Yeah, I don't even have a guess, and neither do the people on Crystal Acids. Arale's voice, though, is provided by Lara Cody, also known for being the voice of Rosemary in the Metal Gear series, Kei in Akira, and Kim Young in Robotech. Other voice actors in the dub include Arlene Banas, Robert Axelrod, Wendy Lee, and, get this, Bryan Cranston. That Bryan Cranston. Before hitting big roles with Malcolm in the Middle and Breaking Bad, he voiced characters in Robotech in the 80s, so him being here as a few characters would make sense, but man, that's a connection I never would have expected. Translation-wise, this dub is pretty straightforward, with a couple changes here and there. They also did not keep in Arale's catchphrases ncha and baicha in the dub. For jokes, a lot of the innocent humor is there, like Dr. Slump testing out Arale's features by telling her to move her arm and she punches him in the stomach, or Lois noting Arale's lack of nostrils, only to have Dr. Slump point out the cartoonist never gained them any. And I'm also surprised they kept in this joke.
I'm flat-chested!
You're supposed to be! You're only a little girl!
A lot of other jokes were edited or cut out entirely, again playing into why this episode cut out about 7 minutes worth of content. But let's look at it in more detail. First, the intro sequence is entirely gone. It instead is a title card that just says Dr. Slump, and it lasts for 6 seconds, so that's 1 minute and 8 seconds lost right there. Any title cards and the eye catches are removed, that's about 20 seconds. Any location scenes that have Japanese text are removed, that's 22.5 seconds. Scenes that have Japanese in the background are kept. What's funny is usually a couple of frames of the original version can be seen before being cut. The opening scene of Senbei testing out Arale is unchanged, until he finds out that Arale is nearsighted. In the original, Senbei proceeds to give Arale an eye test, which she gets him to read out testicles in Japanese, and it's hilarious. So that's a lot of Japanese right there, can't have that. But they also can't have the scene where Senbei needs to go clothes shopping for Arale and proceeds to cross-dress so he doesn't look like a pervert shopping for the panties. Not counting the returning shot showing Senbei's house, this section removes a whopping 2 minutes and 50 seconds from the total runtime. The dub cuts to the scene where Arale has her new clothing and eyeglasses. The coffee shop visit is kept entirely, but the scene following where Senbei tells Arale he'll be taking her to school the next day is removed, another 26 seconds. One joke that doesn't tie heavily into the runtime and plays into Dr. Slump's cartoony antics is when Arale decides to wake Senbei up by feeding him a live grenade. The dub removes the scene with Arale dropping the grenade into his mouth, but keeps his reaction, her saying she fed a red pepper soaked in Tabasco sauce instead. It only accounts for 2.5 seconds. Interestingly, the scene with Senbei smoking a cigarette while talking to Arale is kept. Arale in school impressively solving bizarre math problems with the forbidden language being shown on the board is gone, another 1 minute and 8 seconds. Taro and Pisuke hassling the talking vending machine, which, of course, has juice written on it in Japanese, is cut. That's another 28 seconds. And that's the last main scene that's cut. The dub also removes the 30-second preview, but keeps the credits entirely in Japanese, bringing our grand total to about 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Wow. With the audience Harmony Gold was going for, Dr. Slump just wasn't a fit, especially because later episodes would become more and more difficult to edit, what with the very next episode being about a misunderstanding with Arale not having anything quote-unquote down there. She meant a belly button, by the way. And later episodes featuring underage drinking and smoking. So Harmony Gold's efforts to bring Dr. Slump to the West failed, but that's not the last of the series in English. In 2010, nearly 3 decades after Harmony Gold's version, a dub of Dr. Slump Arale-chan was made in Hong Kong, airing on Cartoon Network Asia and running for 58 episodes. The dub was recorded by Omni Productions at a studio called Medilan, directed by Victor Lee. The studio only dubbed the 80s series, not the 90s one. A lot of info about this dub, including everything up to this point, is from Michael Pizzuto, who voiced Senbei Norimaki. Michael is also known for voicing Hiroshi in the LUK dub of Shin-chan, Kururu in the Animax dub of Sergeant Frog, and Moon in Linetown. Thanks to an old schedule Michael had in his email inbox, he confirmed other people that are in the cast. Arale is voiced by Andrea Kwan. Andrea is another long-time Hong Kong voice actress, having lent her voice to Animax dubs such as Keroro from Sergeant Keroro, Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura, and Goku in Dragon Ball. Midway through the series though, Andrea left Omni Productions, and the role of Arale was taken over by Gloria Ansel. Gloria can also be heard in Animax dubs as CL Phantom Hive from Black Butler and Aki in Sergeant Keroro. Keep CL in the brain, he'll be referred to again soon. Other actors include Sarah Hauser and Richard McGarry, better known by his moniker Ladybeard. Yeah, no kidding. First Bryan Cranston and now Ladybeard. Michael doesn't know who these actors voiced, only that they were in it. Shout out to Michael Pizzuto and Gloria Ansel for giving me so much info about this dub. Everything here is based on our conversations. And thus, the saga of Dr. Slump in English comes to an end. It never found its audience in the English-speaking world, and remains an obscure piece of anime culture. Okay, you see the runtime. You know the story's not over. After Dr. Slump came to an end, Toriyama wrote his smash hit manga Dragon Ball. If you for some reason have never heard of this wildly successful media franchise, the manga stars Son Goku, a young alien boy with a monkey tail going on a quest to look for 7 mystical orbs called Dragon Balls. Later in the series it gets way more detailed and complicated with more lore and powerful enemies from space and super duper powered up forms and power levels, but for now, we're going to focus on the first part of the series. Before we talk about the actual anime, we need to talk about Harmony Gold's dub of Dragon Ball. While the main anime only had 5 episodes dubbed by Harmony Gold, they also did a dub of 2 of the movies, combining them to make a TV special. There are inconsistencies between the Harmony Gold pilot of Dr. Slump and this TV special of Dragon Ball. For one, Penguin Village is now Happy Valley, and Arale is voiced by Arlene Banaz, although some sources say Cheryl Chase, but I don't hear it. Arlene is also known for being in the Transformers and Orga Zero 2, and she has Upa in this very TV special called Littlefoot in this dub. Arale has a weird kind of catchphrase.
Fashion Nova! Wow, totally Fashion Nova, mister. How did you do that?
Fashion Nova? I don't know. But in any case, her appearance in this film is brief. And that's not the only time this was dubbed into English, as Funimation has dubbed it as well as AB Group. We'll talk about Funimation in a moment, but AB Group's dub is better known in the fandom as the Big Green dub, a low-budget dub with a small cast based on the French dub script. Arale in this version is portrayed by Sharon Mann. She can also be heard as multiple other Dragon Ball characters across the other movies, like Krillin, Chi-Chi, Bulma, and hilariously enough Yamcha at one point or another, but also she can be heard in series like Code Lyoko. In the actual series during the Red Ribbon Army saga, young Goku is hot on the trail of General Blue, a member of the army who had just stolen the Dragon Balls and attempted to murder the main characters. In his pursuit, Blue and Goku stumble upon a village that wasn't familiar to either of them. Yup, it's Penguin Village. Arale's story didn't end with Dr. Slump, and this is kind of a time skip episode showing where the characters are now. Goku lands in Arale's front yard, and Arale makes fast friends with Goku, the boy being amazed at Arale's strength and speed, and the fact that she's able to sit on the Kitoon, or Flying Nimbus in the English dub. Arale takes Goku over to Senbei, asking to repair the Dragon Radar, an item used to track the Dragon Balls. After a run-in with General Blue trying to steal the Dragon Balls, Arale sends him flying across the horizon, but to her, it was just playtime. Arale wouldn't appear in the anime proper on Western airwaves until October 22nd, 2002, when the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball and Toonami introduced American audiences to the character and her many friends, 15 years after the original episode's air date. Outside of the US, there was a separate dub produced a couple of years later by Ocean Productions and recorded at Blue Water Studios in Canada, with scripts being based on the Funimation dub. Because of the scripts being nearly identical, the dub changes herein will be the same between versions, except the voice actors of course. There is another dub of Dragon Ball that aired on Animax, but just like the dub of Dr. Slump from Hong Kong, it is almost entirely lost. Unlike Harmony Gold's dub, the names of Dr. Slump characters in these Dragon Ball dubs are the same as in Japanese. And again, Arale doesn't keep her catchphrases and verbal quirks. For the script, the dub took plenty of liberties in punching it up throughout the series, but for these episodes specifically, take into account these 2 extra factors. The West circa 2002 didn't know Dr. Slump's world and cast members, and the script is made for an edited version of the show. I won't go over the minute dialogue changes, but I did want to point out 2 notable differences. In the Japanese version of these Dr. Slump crossover episodes, Blue steals a car from Sour Man, and it breaks down. Obochaman comes by and begins to fix it. Blue looks longingly at the young-looking robot, saying he is his type, and we get a really creepy scene of Blue almost kissing him. In the dub, to tone down the, inappropriate overtones, Blue thinks he has found his long-lost brother Samuel. I mean, he still almost kisses him. It's creepy no matter how you slice it, but A for effort. The robot boy corrects Blue in the dub, saying,
Sorry, you must have me confused with someone else.
Additionally, when Goku is explaining the Dragon Balls to Arale and company, Arale says what she would wish for. The dub changed it to be innocent things: a pony, a sugar plum tree, a rainbow that never ends, and a flower that changes color every day. In the original, Arale says she would wish for her breasts to grow and a big hunk of iron for the Gachans. Dub actors, I won't cover everyone because it would take a while, but I'll cover the main three of note: Senbei, Arale, and Obochaman. In the Funimation dub, Senbei is voiced by the late Bryce Armstrong, also known for voicing Captain Ginyu in Dragon Ball Z, Tim Marco in the 2003 Full Metal Alchemist, and Lord Slug in the DBZ movie of the same name. In Blue Water's dub, he is voiced by Adam Hunter, also known for voicing Kite in the 1999 Hunter x Hunter, and Baby and General Blue in Dragon Ball GT. Arale is voiced by Linda Young in the Funimation dub, famous for voicing Genkai in Yu Yu Hakusho, Frieza in the original Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z, and Poorly Yuzuka in Fairy Tail. In the Blue Water dub, she is voiced by Letta Davies, known for being Bulma in the same dub, and Meruko Yui in Full Moon o Sagashite. In both dubs, Arale is pronounced Arale, so that's 3 pronunciations. Obochaman is voiced by Kent Williams in the Funimation dub, also known for voicing Dr. Gero in Dragon Ball Z, Father in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Captain Kuro in One Piece, so a vastly different role from his usual fare. In Blue Water's dub, he is voiced by Sean Broadhurst, recognizable for Mummy Dog in The Gregory Horror Show, and Saicho in Flame of Recca. After General Blue is sent blasting off and Goku's Dragon Radar is replaced, the young fighter bids farewell to his new friends and continues his quest to defeat the Red Ribbon Army. Arale didn't show up in Z, but did appear in some Dragon Ball video games, notably Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Competitive players know Arale as being an S-tier threat, one of the best characters in this game despite many players probably not knowing who this strange cutesy girl is amongst these muscle-bound, superpowered Z characters. In the Dragon Ball games Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Revenge of King Piccolo, Dragon Ball Origins 2, and most recently Kakarot, probably more, Arale is voiced by Brina Palencia, also known for being the Funimation voice of Tony Chopper in One Piece, CL Phantom Hive in Black Butler, and Georgie in Shin-Chan. Fast forward to 2016. Arale makes a brief cameo in Dragon Ball Super, a sequel series to Dragon Ball Z, in episode 43. A cute nod to the series, but jump ahead to episode 69, a full crossover episode with Dr. Slump, complete with the Dr. Slump opening in sweet HD. Unlike the Dragon Ball episodes, this doesn't feature many characters from Dr. Slump, but it is otherwise a fun episode for fans of Dragon Ball and Dr. Slump. Bonus if you're a fan of both. Given Dr. Slump's obscurity in the West, fans speculated if this episode would even be dubbed. But on June 30th, 2018, this episode aired in the US on Adult Swim's Toonami schedule.
Only a character from an early 80s gag manga could have so much power!
What's a gag manga?
Funimation even tweeted on the day of to give users a brief primer about Arale, including the manga she's from, and her last appearance in the Dragon Ball series many years ago. Brina Palencia reprised the role of Arale, and with Bryce Armstrong being retired, R. Bruce Elliott took over the role. It's not the first time Bruce filled Bryce's shoes, as he is the current voice of Captain Ginyu. He is also known for Makarov in Fairy Tail, Whitebeard in One Piece, and Kogoro, or Richard, in Case Closed. And finally, being given an English role, Dr. Mashirito is voiced by Barry Andel, also known for providing the voice of Bon Clay in One Piece, Yoki in both Full Metal Alchemist series, and William T. Spears in Black Butler. The episode was made with care by the dub team. Because of the lack of fans in the West, the opening line by Mr. Pig was changed from announcing Arale had come to Dragon Ball Super to him assuring the viewers they're on the right channel, as this episode is a crossover. The Dr. Slump intro was dubbed into English, sung by Brina Palencia, with lyrics that reflect the Japanese version well.
What's going to happen today? What could be in store? In Penguin Village there's adventure galore.
Dr. Mashirito, instead of coming back from hell, comes back from the Home for Infinite Losers, or HFIL, a reference to how the original Ocean dub edited all instances of hell in Dragon Ball Z. And Arale finally says her catchphrase. Fans of the series in the West were confused. What is Dr. Slump? Why was this episode a big deal? Why was this episode so goofy? Many fans took to the internet to voice their opinions, with articles explaining the series and characters to puzzled viewers. And this drives the point home. Dr. Slump is an obscure topic in the West all these years later and has yet to find a fanbase on the level of many other famous shows like it. But that didn't stop the series from getting a full manga release in English by Viz. And in 2014, Discotek Media released a set of DVDs featuring Dr. Slump's film 1 through 5 with English subtitles. So what does the future hold for Arale and friends? Well, during the creation of this video, Tubi TV announced Dr. Slump is being added with English subtitles. Fans will no longer need to rely on fan subs to experience this anime. As far as dubbing goes, it's doubtful. Funimation has expressed disinterest in the series in the past. There are fandom projects, but nothing official has ever been announced, and it's doubtful it ever will be. If you haven't checked out Dr. Slump, as I said, the manga is available in English, and now the series is getting a subbed release. It's never too late to see what made Toriyama famous. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Kingmation for requesting this episode. I had a lot of fun revisiting Dr. Slump. Stay tuned because they'll be announcing the next episode after the credits. If you liked the video and want to see more, please leave a like, subscribe, and leave in the comments what did you think of the dubs of Dr. Slump? Do you think it will gain more traction in the West? What else should I cover in this series? If you'd like to keep up with what I'm doing and get the occasional hint on what's next, please follow me over on Twitter. Shout out to all of my subscribers on Twitch, on screen now. Twitch subscribers get to see videos the day before they're uploaded, so if you'd like to support what I do and get to see stuff early as well as progress reports and have your name on screen here, please consider subscribing. I also do playthroughs on Twitch. Right now I'm doing Pokemon Sword. Until next time, take care.
In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
And you are?
I'm Guts.